Hello again, everyone. This is another daily reminder for not just myself, but hopefully inspire others. Decided to be outside after having a long day at work, and it's really nice outside. So I'm gonna enjoy it while making this video. So if you hear noises, I'm outside. So I recently was looking back to some of my older videos when I was definitely really into entrepreneurship, which I still am. It's just there was a lot that I was doing, and I went back into my old habits that I did not need, nor did it work with me. So I'm planning to work on that by constantly doing these videos, because almost today I was almost second guessing. It's like, why do one today? It's late. You should just go and relax. But no, I need this so that as I look back upon it, I see myself doing the work even though I am already tired. So this journey so far, I do have quite a bit of work cut out for me. I do plan to schedule videos, especially on the type of topics that I am learning that has benefited me in some way, shape, or form. But these videos, as I said before, is just me expressing my journey. Not everything I do and learn to help me grow and get to where I want to be will help you, but hopefully it inspires you. And that's one of my goals, is that hopefully it touches you the way that it has touched me when I have watched my admirers' videos, seeing the people that I took inspiration from, that I love, and it is just so amazing seeing how they grew and the knowledge they have, the wisdom. And it all kind of went back where they decided enough was enough, and they took action. And through trial and failure, they got to learn different ways to do things until they got to where they want to be. For me, I'm always a crafty person. I have done art. I have created things with my hands. I made a backpack for school that was a project of mine. Anything project-like that I could do with my hands and use my imagination, I loved it. And it recently expand into writing. So I am not sure exactly when I will be letting videos out of some of my works and projects that I'm doing. I am gonna be mostly focusing on myself. The first part is making a list of the kind of person I want to be, and then taking that list and making another list with it, figuring out what do these kind of people do, and use that to start working on becoming who I want to be. I'll give you an example. We'll just use a business person. Who is a business person? What do they probably do? I wrote down that in business, they most likely have good communication skills. They're confident. They're doing the work even though they really want to just relax and stuff. They still stick to it. They have a confidence about them. They're willing to be outside of their comfort zone in order to continue learning, and they want to hang around with people who challenges them, because that helps them to continue to grow to becoming who they want to be. So they always do things that will constantly help them learn and grow in some way or form. Another thing is that they probably do a lot of reading, a lot of writing, talking, as well as doing whatever little task that will better help them be a master of time management, help them master their standards, who they're willing to hang out with and who are they not, and the kind of people they want in their lives. If they further help or if they just further bring you down, and if they further bring you down, they cut it off, figuratively. So, looking back at it, I started taking a look at my life and think, what can I do that helps me become this kind of person I want to be? I am reading books that I've been meaning to read, but I've put it off and put it off. And some of them are books I don't necessarily like to read, but they will further help me gain the tools I need to be able to communicate better, talk to strangers better, build a more confidence and a more stable foundation for myself before I start trying to build anything else on top of that foundation. I need a firm foundation. So that is why I am focusing on myself more than what I normally do when I just help people. But I help people in an unhealthy way. I would help them even past when I overdid it myself and I am just drained and I needed a break to regain myself, but I never did. I just kept going and going, and then I wonder why I'm so tired, so drained, and full of just anxiety, worry. Even now, just kind of thinking about it, it was terrible. So I've decided that I needed to work on myself, because that is something I never really did. So that's my top priority. Second one is making sure, am I healthy? Am I glad on where my health is at this point? Am I happy with what my body feels like from physical activity? Do I want to exercise more, or am I the kind of person that doesn't really do anything and I just sometimes feel Am I intellectually sound? How am I constantly gaining new information, learning and growing to constantly build my brain and the different topics that I need to understand? Am I emotionally well? Or is there some things that I'm having issues with that need to be taken care of? Mentally, am I mentally sound? Or have I been struggling and I need to do something about it? These are the kind of things I am looking into. And it goes back to being connected to who I want to become. And seeing people doing business and everything, they look healthy, they're happy. Well, depending on the person, but for the most part, from what I've seen, they're happy, they love what they're doing, and they just seem so well. And that's why I've been looking into it's like, okay, what do I think that they do in order to get to where they are and what they're constantly trying to become? So those are a few of the things that I'm working on myself, and it's currently been a lot of writing and a lot of looking into myself, which at times, yes, it was uncomfortable. There's parts that still is uncomfortable, but I'm becoming aware of it. And that's another thing that kind of ties into when it comes to habits. Being aware of things, both good and bad. What is helpful, what is not helpful, and finding the balance. And start taking the first step to better help myself to move forward. Another thing with my communication skills. I've been struggling with speech most of my life. Growing up, I had to go to a speech class through elementary, middle school. But over time, it became more into going into the special education classes because the way I learn is different from what other people considered normal, which for me, my opinion, everyone learns differently, because if everyone was the same, our world wouldn't be the way it is today. We wouldn't have these great artists and everything, because everyone would be the same, have the same talents, have the same job, da 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 da. Nothing would be unique, which is why I always thought that I wanted to better understand myself so that I understand my perspective on how I see the world. And I also find it fascinating when I hear someone else's perspective on how they perceive the world and how they understand it and what I have to do to adapt in order to help them. So for me, everyone learns differently, and I really didn't think it was necessary putting them in a special class that, to me, made me feel like I was an idiot, that I was less. So I had low expectations for myself growing up, and looking back at it, oof, that was a big no-no. So that's why I'm working on it now, because it needs to happen now. All we have is the present. And if I don't do it now, it will never happen. I will never change if I don't start now. That is my little rant for today. Hopefully this helped. I will further explain more of those topics that I ranted about in another video. But for now, thank you for listening. I hope you guys have a great day. Let's do the work and be great.